I'm here for a 3 o'clock appointment under the name of Gregory Walsh.
Great. Your insurance card, please. All right, you can go ahead and take a seat. Dr. Bernard will be right with you.
Doctor, I don't know what to do next. I'm past the breakthrough line.
Thought it had a good sense of sort of tone and mood, especially. I tend to like pieces that know how to navigate silence and the quiet moments. And I thought the piece had a really great dynamic with that, especially from the establishing it from the open with the flashback. And then as you move to the doctor's office or the therapist's office, it reflects that same sort of component. I thought it had a good sense of sort of foreshadowing, excuse me, the sinister quality of both the doctor, the mission for justice from the lead character. And I thought the piece had a good dynamic between the two of them that sort of set up the actual conflict in a way that was surprising and shocking. And I thought well done stunt wise and camera wise. So I thought that the piece really worked well, especially because of the contained setting, and I thought that it really had a good sense of personality, mainly because I thought that the lead actors on both ends really sort of carried the piece in a way that sort of contributed to the impact of the ending.
So many layers to it that kind of leads us into that big final scene. We obviously have that very impactful opening, and then we see this grieving person who has experienced a trauma and is there in therapy, is perhaps a bit resistant towards it. We see him becoming more and more antagonistic towards the therapist. And we're like, okay, but he's going through something. We don't blame the therapist. And when he explicitly does and calls her a monster, we're like, oh, okay, so he just has like some really unresolved things and he's there for, the wrong reasons. He's there to confront. And then when we find out he's actually right and she actually is the monster and is feeding off of emotions, just wow. It was it was a strong start. It was a strong finish. And I just didn't even see it going there, but it led us there um, so naturally. We got to see her in her monster form, and I thought that looked so amazing. This was a really awesome concept and idea for a film, and I thought they did a great job of executing it.
The structure of the film was tight, starting with a flashback and then giving us a context for the flashback. Great performances all around, especially the doctor, who really transitioned from calm and cool to vicious and alien. I thought the grayish lighting in the piece was perfect for this dark storyline. Special shout out to the visual transformation of the doctor, and I love the sense of justice by the end.
I think the short is really unexpected, and I think the short does a really good job of creating tension by sort of immediately letting us know that there's something very eerie with the therapist. And I think we're more concerned for the man just in terms of the way that tension is built, whether that's the interaction with the receptionist, or maybe I just wasn't watching closely, but that's how I felt. I was more worried for him than the therapist. But then, I think as time progresses, we become more and more aware of the situation. And I think that's very much due to the chemistry between the two characters of the therapist and the man. So when that tension sort of just like really boils over and goes all out, I think we're very shocked and surprised.
Coming up with some sort of alien or some sort of creature that feeds off humans' emotional pain and turmoil and turning them into a therapist so they could hide and disguise themselves, I thought was so clever and so smart. I really, really liked that. I thought that was really, really genius. And just the entire build of it, I loved the use of the sound, not of like the train whistle per se, but of like the chugging of the train as a kind of background on and off to kind of help cue you into the emotional state of one of the characters. I thought was so clever as well.
I think the makeup was also pretty well done. I'm pretty sure it took hours to get there. But the idea is great, you know. The man is there and just talking with the doctor, and then the doctor is the evil entity, and then he gets killed in the end in this near future, I guess, mainly because the laser pistol we have in the end, I guess, is just in the near future. So overall, a very well done short, very intense, although short, short.
It is very engaging, a lot of action, and awesome special effects. The end was also surprising and effective in creating anticipation for what's coming. It is such a unique story of vengeance and justice seeking, sometime in a near future, where we have shifters, evil powers, entities that are unknown, and this is a great film.